Hi, Fashion Dolls. It is Motivation Monday, September 15th, and welcome to an all new episode of Style by Stevie. My very special guest today is a film director, actor, and host, and I'm super excited to have him here in the dollhouse with me. So, without further ado, please welcome to the dollhouse, Dre Will. And I'm going to go on ahead and send this to him so that we can get him in here. Give me a sec. There we go. Boom. Hi, Short Stack family. Shout outs to Alvin. We did a great panel yesterday on white supremacy, and I suggest y'all go and check that out. Hi, Ina. Ina will be joining me tomorrow. Hi, Imani. Kamani, how are you, my love? Welcome to the dollhouse. Welcome, welcome. I am feeling copper today because we are now heading into the fall months. And you know, the months Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week is going to be amazing. The colors are going to get darker versus whereas in the summer they were brighter, they were more fun. So you're going to see it get more rich. You're going to see more so deeper, warm tones. So I had to go for something optimal. So without further ado, let's welcome our very special guest here to the dollhouse, Dre Will. Give me one sec, because IG likes to act crazy sometimes. So give me a sec, y'all. I am doing wonderful. Thank you. I had to change it up because what color did I do before we left for the break last week? I think it was black. So I had to go for something optimal. Loving the fashion. Thank you. Thank you, my love. I had to change it up. Give me 1 minute. Let me see what is going on here because IG likes to play games sometimes. So give me a sec. Hopefully it should work this time. I'm trying to add you, Dre. I see it. I'm trying to add you. Let me see if it'll, because IG does this sometimes. But overall, did y'all check out the panel with me and my colleague Alvin and Bubs and Deshaun yesterday? We had such a great time.
There we go.
There we are. Welcome to the
What's
Doghouse.
up?
Happy Monday.
Hey, how you doing?
I am doing lovely. Such a pleasure to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
So before we kick off this interview, how has 2025 been for you so far?
Hey, it's been great. You know, the Lord been with me, so everything's been going good so far. Ready for 2026.
The
It
year is just about out. It went by so fast. So much has
did.
happened.
It
So
did. It's moving. It's moving very fast.
yes, 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 yes. So let's start at the beginning of your journey. Tell us a little bit because I know about your company, Dre Will Productions, which we'll get into. But tell us how you got your start in the business of filmmaking, film directing, and hosting.
Well, I started out by going to Ohio Media School in 2021. At the beginning of 2021, January. So my mom passed in 2020, December.
Sorry.
So, and that just made me push even more to go after my dreams. As being, I always wanted to do movies and things like that, or TV shows, or film and sports podcasts, interviews, things like that. So I entered Ohio Media School, and when I was there, I just took it serious, and and I graduated. And then after I graduated, I worked at Fox 19 News. Yep, I was there. I was a videographer there, filming stories and things like that. Then after that, I got a call to Hollywood. So I was actually, yes, I actually does podcasts and radio also. So after I was at my radio station, and after my radio show, I got a call from Hollywood. and I wasn't gonna answer the phone, and my friend told me, said, "Man, you better answer that call." So I answered the call, and it was, um, Carl Weber's Black Hamptons. That's on BET. If you know Carl Weber, he writes the books and made his books into films and things like that. So got a chance to work on that show. I went out there for 3 months as a production assistant, helping on set and whatever they needed and things like that. Then I got moved up to a camera assistant. So I was working with the camera department, got a chance to slate the scenes and things like that. So work with a lot of great actors and get a lot of experience from them also. So and and then also I was on set one day and the director came up to me and asked me did I want to be in the scene. So I got to be in the scene, season 2, episode 4, um, as an extra. So I was in there. Um, so yeah, so I have worked with a lot of people. I started out as a videographer, filming events, things like that for celebrities. I was actually, if you know Bubba Dub Jr., he's a comedian. I was his
Yeah.
videographer for Cleveland NBA All Star Weekend. Follow him around the whole weekend, stayed with him and things like that. So got to learn and got to work with a lot of great people. So I started out as a videographer, filming things, filming events and stuff like that. So
And you have a podcast yourself. Put it on the table. Tell us a little bit about
yes.
that.
Shout out to my co-host, comedian Big Funny, man. He's my co-host, and we came up with the idea with just put it on the table podcast. And what that is we, if you have anything you want to say, anything you want to talk about, come put it on the table. You know what I'm saying? We hold nothing back. So and it's just a fun podcast. We want to get to know about you. That's what the podcast is about, to get to interview people just like this, get to know about people and what they do in the communities and what they do and things like that. So, yeah. And we have traveled
Absolutely.
around and did podcasts in different states and things like that. So,
And you worked alongside Mike Epps, Lamar Rucker again, the Black Hamptons. You worked
yes.
alongside some big names. Now, where does your drive and inspiration come from to develop, to create? Because you are a filmmaker as well, so you're a film director.
Yeah. Um, it just coming from people, people seeing their videos and things like that, smiles on their faces when they get them and things like that. So that's the drive and what I love to do. And when I see that and I return the video back to them, they got a smile and they happy with it. That's what drives me to keep it going. So keeping the people happy.
Yes, yes, yes. And your company, Dre Will Productions, is out. What
Mhm.
advice would you give? Because we see so many black filmmakers that are out here, that are up and coming, that are starting in the business, in the industry. What gems would you give them as it pertains to having a production company? Because I know that it's a lot of people that are doing it independently. And when you are doing
Yeah.
things independently, you're having to finance yourself. I've sat with a lot of
Yes.
independent people here on this
Hmm.
platform, and they're saying, no, I'm not backed by a big company like
Right.
Viacom or Warner Brothers or anything like that. I'm funding this out of my pocket. So, what are
Yeah.
some skills and tips that you would give them on maintaining a production company, managing yourself?
Invest in yourself always. Um, the production, see, I production company, I cut out everything, the middleman. I do everything myself. So that part. So far as clothes and all that stuff too, I make my own clothes, print my own things and stuff like that. So make my own logos, flyers, and everything. So invest in yourself, learn how to do things yourself. Um, and just keep it going. Don't stop. It's gonna be hard at times, hard every day. It's gonna be hard. You're gonna want to quit. So, but you just got to keep it going to make the great projects and things like that. So,
Absolutely. And a very special shout out to Nia Renee, who I just did an interview with on the show last week. And she
okay,
has her own baking company. Not only that, but she models and she acts as well too. And y'all make sure y'all go and check out her latest project. She's
Mm.
out as well too.
Okay.
Um, and we were talking about being independent and having a business and balance. How important the key is balance in this business because you're also a family man as well too. You're a
Hmm.
family man, you're a businessman, you are a film director, you're a host, you're an actor, and it's all tying in together where you have to find that balance. What advice would you give to people on balance? Because it's not easy. You're
It's
always
not
on the go 20.
only go 24/7. You just got to have that drive. I mean, everybody is different. Everybody may not be able to do what I can do or move around like I can move around. But I just say just keep going if you can. Just keep going. You know, always home is got to be taken care of first. So just make sure that's taken care of. Then go work, do your other stuff that you gotta do. Because I not only do that, I also I work with kids too. So I have my own youth sports program also. So I'm also a coach too. So hmm
I've seen you. Kudos to you, King, for that
thank
because
you.
we need more of that, especially in the Black collective. We need more
Yes.
Black men out here getting involved in the community, getting our children, the youth, involved in all of these activities. And there's so many programs. That was another question I wanted to ask you because I was just brainstorming while I was in the chair getting hair and makeup. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, what can I ask them as it pertains to us getting involved in organizations, nonprofits, helping out within the community. What can we do? Because I know a lot of people have answers on, well, what can we do with the youth? We have a lot of Black and brown children out here that are wanting to get involved in the community and activities. What can they do? Oh no, we lost Stray. Oh, there he is. Oh,
I'm
oh,
here.
oh we lost
Okay.
him.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Oh,
was saying, what can people, because I know a lot of people have answers on what they can do to get involved in the community per se with helping out the children, because there's so many that want to get involved in the arts and entertainment. And if not that, where in your arena where you're at, sports, what can people
yes.
do?
Go talk to your city council. Go up there, meet the people, get to know the people in your city. All the board members on the council and things like that. Also, go to like your libraries and your neighborhood schools and stuff like that. So I am also the feeder program for Winton Woods High School. So I graduated from Winton Woods. Shout out to Winton Woods High School. I graduated from there. I'm from Forest Park, Ohio. So I just wanted to go back to my community and try to get, do something good for these kids, so they can have something growing up, and then also venture into the high school and things like that. Maybe become champions. Then these student athletes, they need something like that. So they need that guidance. They need that person there that's going to push them. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I just say just go to get involved in your community, get to know the people there. Um, you know, go to the city council, the board meetings, and things like that. So
School board is important. Get yourself
yes.
out there. And my colleague, Alvin, we just did a panel yesterday, is from
Hmm.
Cincinnati, Ohio. Nia Renee says, I love this. My mother used to live in Forest Patel. Yep.
Okay.
And when I think of Ohio, when you said the magic word Ohio, when I think of Ohio, I think of Cleveland, Ohio. Forest Park, my bad. I think of Holly Berry. Holly Berry is from Cleveland, Ohio. That's her hometown.
Yeah,
So
there's a lot of people
a
from
lot of
Ohio. There's a
talent.
lot of celebrities from
Yeah.
Ohio. Yeah, Cincinnati have a lot of celebrities also. So yes, there's Ohio is we're on the rise. It's a lot of talent here, and it needs to be known. So yeah.
And getting involved. That's what it takes. Getting involved because I know a lot of people have answers. We have children that want to get involved in these arts, and we're seeing everything from this regime where they're closing down programs that can be beneficial to help them. Now we have to extend these olive branches.
Hmm.
What advice would you give to the youth that are, becoming into their own young adults, teenagers that want to get a head start into acting, writing, directing? Now we have it accessible right there where they can go and they can use
Right.
technology. They're filming on their iPhones. So I mean, the creativity is there, and thank God. I mean,
It's
AI, even though I was afraid of it a little bit,
yeah.
but I'm pretty sure you've seen the advertisement of this week's lineup. That
Yes.
shot at the end where it says Fashion Doll, that was created by uh, spoken creator Dante. And
Okay.
he went and he took my picture and made it into my likeness. I'm like, wait a minute, who's that? He dedicated a whole song to me. So that was the cover for that song,
Right.
Fashion Doll. And I said, oh, I love it. She looks just like me. Okay, legs cross,
Yeah.
curvy, hair, everything. But what can the youth do to get involved? What can they do? The ones that are, in their teen years, that are in their own, making their own decisions, the teens.
Um, do your research. Do your research. Use your connections and things like that. Reach out to people. Closed mouths don't get fed nowadays. Or never have. So open your mouth, talk to people. Like you said, nowadays they have just this resource that they can just get whatever they want from the internet. They can get paid from the internet right now as being a kid. They can be taking care of their parents at an early age. You know what I'm saying? Just from streaming, and streaming is a big deal right now. So I would say
Twitch.
that yes, Twitch and all that stuff. So what I would say to the young group is gain a following. Gain a following. That's what matters. Your following gets you paid. Everybody wants to be paid, you know. So just gain your following, have fun with whatever your niche is, and go hard at it. Don't take a break because you have to do that every day. You have to do something every day. You have to put something out every day. If you want to act, practice on it. Start practicing your favorite movie lines. Um, Things like that. You know what I'm saying? So just go hard at it. Go practice whatever your niche is, and just keep doing it every day. You know, and something will come out of that.
Absolutely. And there's so many, to add on to what you just said, Dre, there's so many programs out here that can help you. Like back in the day, what was it? If you're looking to get in the music industry,
Right.
behind the music, you have Unsung. E used to do something where it talks about True Hollywood Stories, where the actors would actually sit there
Yeah.
and tell you, hey, this is my story. This is what I've been through. This is what I've had to endure to get here. I know a lot of students. If you go to college, there's a lot of art programs there, and we're seeing them doing the rollbacks and pushbacks attacking our historically black colleges and universities, but we now have to be those branches. And I love what Lena Waithe, you guys know the show A Different World, right? A
Yeah.
Different World, Hillman University. She's collaborated with them. So you have to be able to be that vessel, that branch for these up
Yeah.
and coming black young filmmakers, actors, and talents. And what she's doing is shadowing and coaching them. And I think Queen Latifah, she has her film
Yeah.
production company as well too.
Yeah.
Flavor, was it Flavor? I think it's Flavor. Flavor's her company.
Yeah.
And so at one point, she was offering scholarships to young women who were looking to get into filmmaking. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I can hardly talk today,
Now you
y'all. What is going
good.
on? I had an Elle Woods moment, legally blonde, but I'm not blonde today. Oh my God. She had a program
Yeah.
where she was helping young women get scholarships in filmmaking.
Hmm.
And
That's
these are
great.
the resources that we need to be taking advantage of. So to
Yeah.
anybody out here that is looking to get into the business, the resources are right there at your fingertips. There's so many books out here that can help you.
Hmm.
And the thing is, we don't want to pick up books and read, but there are so many. I
Right.
remember sitting with actor Kevin J. Stone, and I can't remember the book that he told me that he read that helped him with his acting because he's an outstanding actor, award-winning actor.
Hmm.
And he was saying that another actor told him to read this book, and this book helped him in his career. And he
Hmm.
is dominating. So there's so many books out here that can help you. The knowledge
Yep.
is right there at your fingertips. Whereas spending time in I love the feeling of going through a book, sitting in the library and flipping the sound of pages turning. Now
Right.
we have it right here at our fingertips. We can access
Right.
it right there at our fingertips if
Yep.
need be. There's so much knowledge out
you
here.
know,
And
they.
I think when the pandemic, because you mentioned the key year, 2021 was difficult for a
Yes.
lot of us because that right there, how we doing these interviews now, a lot of people became creative. So
They
you sure
have,
can.
yes. Yes, they
And
have.
pick up that phone. If you're feeling something, put it out there.
Mhm.
YouTube is free. TikTok, take advantage of TikTok,
Yep.
and you see your audience. Me, I stick in fashion and beauty. Lately, I've been political, getting involved in wanting to make change for us as Black people as a
Right.
collective. So my voice has been amplified even more from me mixing and merging all of these things together and making it fun. And that's what I think draws the audience in. Because a lot of people are like, what is it
Yeah.
about her? She's so mysterious. What is it about her that
Right.
draws people in? I know how to merge all of those things together because I know people
Yeah.
just don't like staying on one thing. And as an
Right.
actor, you have to be able to go into the production aspect. Because I don't, a lot of people have asked this question, what do you plan on doing with Style by Stevie? Well, I plan on continuing to host it. I'm 31 years
Yeah.
old and
Hmm.
I want to keep going,
Right.
all the way up, well up into my 70s. As long
Yep.
as I have breath in my body, I want to still keep going
You
with
want to
it.
go to the top.
But yeah, I don't want to do it forever. I want to step behind the lens as well too. I want to
Right.
write. I want to
Yeah.
produce. I want to
See,
direct.
I
And
was like that also. I was more behind the camera a lot and everything. Now I'm more in front of the camera now. So, yeah, yeah, I get
and
that.
you have to be able to juggle that. You have to be able to juggle that because I'm pretty sure you've ran into him and came close proximity to him, Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart has his production company and
Yep.
he's acting. He also has Heartbeat Media is the company where
Yep.
he is producing. I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all, if you haven't
Producer.
seen it, please head on over and I recommend you subscribe. The Reliving Single podcast with Kim Coles and Erica Alexander, and
Hmm.
they recaptured the moments that we love from that iconic sitcom Living Single. And that
Yeah.
is one of Kevin Hart's companies, Heartbeat Media. That's Kevin
Right.
Hart. So
Right.
you
Yeah.
have to make sure that you are dabbling in all of the arenas. And as my colleague Alvin just said in the comments, versatility. I don't want to be just a one trick pony. I want to be able to juggle many hats, you
Yeah.
know. And if you're going to be a filmmaker, producer, Spike Lee, yes, you've seen him in his projects, but the majority also you've seen him produce, you've seen him write, you've seen him direct.
Right.
Ryan Coogler is another one.
Yeah.
So take note from them. You got to
Yeah.
be able to do it all, not just stay in one lane. And that's
Yep.
what I want to
A lot of these actors are opening up their own production companies. So yeah, they're starting to do venture off by themselves and starting their own thing and stuff like that. So yes, I love it. I love it. So
absolutely, absolutely. And I think that's what we need more than ever. There should be some more courses out here that can teach our youth to get involved in the arts, to love the arts, because we know if you grew up in a certain particular region or neighborhood, they're just like, you want to do this? Oh, no, we should be. But see,
yeah.
keeping creative is a good way to keep you out of trouble because trouble
Yep.
is easy to get, hard to get out, and our youth needs to know this. And I've seen so many stories
It
of them
sure is.
not taking advantage of their gift. They can draw, they can write, they can do poetry. And in
Hmm.
the Bay Area, I want to give a shout out to Kafre J, who has up and coming hip hop artists right up under him. He does a contest. He also does performances with up and coming artists as well too in the Bay Area. So get involved. Get
Yeah.
involved. Take
Yep.
advantage of these resources right there at your fingertips. Now,
Got to.
y'all look so lucky. Dre's in Ohio. We got Cafre in the Bay Area. I'm a South Carolina girl. Even though we
Okay.
had
The
Chadwick
Carolinas.
down here, Chadwick and James Brown down here from my city
South
of South Carolina, and then in
South
North Carolina.
Carolina.
And
I like South Carolina, by the way. Shout out to South Carolina. Yeah.
yes, but the opportunities were very few and in between. Like I wanted when I was in high school, I wanted to go for fashion, mass communications, fashion illustration. You know
Okay.
how you see designers like Gianni Versace or Terry Mugler, and they're designing these gorgeous gowns. That's fashion illustration. You have to draw it.
Right.
And you see Beyonce's tour costumes and you see the layout. That's fashion illustration right there. That's what I
Yeah.
wanted to do. But we didn't have that option down here.
Yep.
All we had was regular art and cosmetology.
Mm.
And the option that I had to choose was cosmetology. So
Right.
I said, I love to change up my look because at the time I had the
Yeah.
TWA, which stands for teeny weeny afro. And then I learned the art of layering and adding in and taking away. I'm like, okay, I like cosmetology. I always
Yeah.
wanted to do hair. But since I can't get into fashion illustration, but my beauty school instructor, she told me, she said, I want you to go for fashion or either
Right.
hosting something. I
Right.
want you to do something in that realm. And little did I know, here I am.
Yeah.
That
That's what's up.
was the birth of it right there. I, I started this
That's what's up.
platform right in 20. So if you don't have what you're looking for right there accessible to your fingertips, because the option was
Right.
my brother chose to go into the military and I chose looks, as y'all can see. But
Right.
we're two different. I've grown up out of all of my siblings because I have four brothers, two
Yeah.
sisters. Each and every one of us individually had something that we wanted to do. My sister chose to write children's books, and
Mm.
that's what she does. And she's sort of like a travel lifestyle influencer. If you
Oh, that's
follow and
great.
watch her, my
That's
older
great.
sister, yeah, she
Shout out to
traveled
her.
across the
Shout
world.
out to your older sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my brother did things with music, another brother in law enforcement, and then we have one that is just a regular type of guy. He goes wherever the
Gotcha.
wind blows. He does what he wants to do. And he's a
Yeah.
dad now. That's the one that served in the military that I'm talking about. But me, I chose to be as creative and it's just as bold because the talent is there. I always knew it was there. My mother said she
Right.
knew it was there. So I mean, if you don't have what you're looking for right there in that moment, you got to go for something else. Like I know you want to go for filmmaking, but juggle many hats.
Yeah.
I like to juggle many hats. I don't like to stay in just one lane. You got to be able to
Yeah.
weigh all of your options out. So, as far as historically black colleges and universities, how important is education to our youth? That's something that I wanted to ask you. You work with a lot of our youth.
That's one thing we preach. It's very, very important. That's one thing we preach in our program. Uh, you know, student athlete and student come first. You know what I'm saying? So, um, in our program, we treat the kids like they're middle school and high school kids. If you're, if we discipline a lot, so we are real big on that for our schooling. So these kids need a lot of school because nowadays, some of these kids, and I have coached a lot of these kids. Some of these kids don't have both parents in the house, and I say both parents, you know, and I have witnessed some of that stuff. So some of these kids, yes, they need that guidance for these kids to stay in school is very important. Um, so yes, I'm real big on the school and the discipline of that part.
Absolutely. And
Yes.
I took a deep breath for a minute because I know it's a lot for them not growing up with both of their parents or not having them both in the household at the
Yes.
same
I
time.
have seen it
They're
all. I
having to
have
navigate.
seen both. I have seen both sides. I have seen, the when the parents are in the house, mom and dad. I've seen when just the mom is in the house. I have seen when just the kids are just raising themselves. You know, and it's just terrible to me, to see something like that. So,
It breaks your heart because these kids deserve everything. They deserve to
hmm
go after what their heart's desires are. There's a lot of them that want to go into the realm of sports, of music,
yeah,
that want to do these things. But
hmm
the parents do have their
and
reservations because I'm pretty sure yours have had their reservations also about you gonna do what? Because my mama told me, I told my mama that I said I want to be a talk show host
yeah,
or I want to do hair, I want to do makeup,
right,
and my mother was like, just be sure you got a backup plan.
yeah,
Always make sure that you have a backup plan.
Mhm.
And luckily for me, it worked. Other
Yeah,
people's parents, you have to. Some of them have their reservations and guards up because they know how the industry and the business is.
right.
They don't know anything about it, but you have to
See
show
me,
them. And I've always been one. My mom's a Libra, October
yeah.
7th. I'm a Scorpio, October 31st. And you can only imagine with two
Okay, I'm a
powerful women
Scorpio
right
November
here.
6th. I'm a Scorpio November
Okay,
6th. So yeah.
right after mine. Right after mine. Okay. So you can only imagine when a Libra and a Scorpio, you have two women who are very opinionated on things. And that
Hmm.
we are, me and my mom bump heads sometimes. Even though you're grown, you sometimes bump heads with your parents.
Yeah,
But at that point in time, that's mother, being very
yeah.
protective. Like, you want to do what? What's going to be your backup plan? And what if that
Well,
doesn't work? That, yeah,
my mom used to always laugh at me because I always had dreams. Like I always wanted to do something. Say I didn't want to work for nobody. I wasn't a person that wanted to work a 9 to 5. I wasn't. I always wanted to do my own thing and work by myself. So she would always laugh at me because I would always come in the house and say I want to be something, this and everything, or do this. So yeah, she always say, even till now, like she would always say, when she was living, she would always say I had big dreams like a little kid, because I always believe, it's no matter how old you are, you can still be what you still want to be. So
it's never too late.
never too
And
late.
Janine J says definitely is a sad environment, no support for them. And we have to change that. We
Hmm.
really do. We really do. We, like I said, we have to be those olive branches, those
Yeah.
branches on the tree for those kids,
Yes.
those babies.
And
They
shout
are
out to
the next.
Janine. Shout out to Janine J. That's my photographer right there. So she does my events and things like that. So shout out to Janine J Photography.
Hi,
So
beautiful. Welcome, welcome. Yes, and it's sad growing up in an environment where there's nothing really there, like Janine just said. It's got to be an option for these babies
yeah,
because we know if there isn't any options for them, what the next thing is going to be, and that's jail or even worse. So
right.
there's got to be an
And
option.
sometimes
I
and
can
sometimes all these kids have in sports sometimes, that sometimes that's their way out, it's sports, you know. Um and I like I said, I have seen it all, Um and they sometimes these kids don't have a way to get there to sports, while their parents are at the home. So it's like we gotta that's why we need more people to guide these kids in the right way. So yeah.
absolutely, and they have influences like yourself
Yes.
and so many others that are out here that are encouraging them as well too. And I'm not
Yes.
a parent. I have a nephew. My nephew is 2 years old, on his
Hmm.
way to his terrible. That's my brother's
Yeah.
son. My brother and his wife. And watching him in parent mode, it changes you. I remember seeing him go to the military. I remember seeing him playing a lot of sports and stuff
Right.
as well too. And it's key and crucial to get the youth involved. And Janine says you do a lot for the youth, and that you
Hmm.
do. So when I seen you with the kids out there on the court, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
we need to see more of this because there's
Yes.
so many. I've sat with so many actors and listened to their stories where they would tell me like, okay, I needed to get out from where I was from because I grew up in a dangerous environment and I
Yeah.
needed to change that. I needed to get out and do something. So I said, you know what,
Right.
I'm gonna take up acting. And the next thing you know, their star has shot up and shined so bright because they believed in themselves. Even in growing up in a dangerous situation, they changed it and they said, I want to do something for the better. And I
Right.
do believe we need more programs. And I was talking to shout outs to Justin Thibodeau. We were talking about programs like the Boys and Girls Club.
Yes.
And y'all remember that? Y'all remember the
And
advertisement with
yeah.
Denzel Washington used to come
Yeah.
on? We need more programs like that. Why don't we have these things?
And
So
while we're
now,
still on the youth, I'm actually a part of a nonprofit organization in Kansas called Stand Up for Life, where we speak to kids, and so I travel out to Kansas a lot to talk to kids and help them with video production, podcasting, radio, and things like that. So I also do that too for the kids out there.
absolutely, absolutely. So we're gonna shift gears here. Dre
Yeah,
Will's coming to the stage. You got a
yes.
comedy event
Let's get
coming
to
up
that. I was waiting.
September 27th.
I
Tell
was
us
waiting.
about
I
it.
was waiting. I was waiting. Yes. Coming to the stage comedy jam. I throw my own comedy jam. Uh sorry. for local comedians. It's been going on for a year now since last year August. So we just had our year anniversary, but we're actually on tour also. With yes, we're actually on tour with the Walking Through It Love tour. So it's my partner in Kansas. She has a book signed. They wrote a book, love and relationship type of book, and they're on tour. And they added the comedy show to the tour. So we're on tour with them, and we also do one separately. Oh, let me go back because the tour is a clean comedy tour. We also do another one that is a dirty comedy tour, also that we do monthly here in Cincinnati. Um, and that's the one that's coming up September 27th at the Area Bistro and Lounge, 5353 Fairfield, Ohio. September 27th, doors open up at 7:30, and the show time is at 8:30. So if you're in Cincinnati, Ohio, please come on out. And I'm actually hosting, and we got a great lineup. Comedian Big Funny, P. Dot the Godson, Andre Holland, Coco Simone, Kevin Brown Jr. So yes, and we also opened up the comedy show with the performance by Los. We got my girl Janine J Photography. She's capturing the vibe, taking all the pictures and things like that, and my DJ Killer T on the ones and twos. So it's a great event that we do for local comedians, and these guys are funny. Uh, just because they local me don't think they're funny. They are funny. They have been doing a lot of things and stuff like that. So traveling around the world and doing their thing. So yes,
Absolutely. And I'm reading what Janine just said. We as a community need more involvement. These adults need to step away from, oh, that's not my kids. Yes, it is because it takes a village. Yes, and as even with this, uh,
yep,
the event that is coming up September 27th, it does take a village. It takes a village for everything. The creativity takes a village. You got to have that team behind you. And I'm a firm believer that when you have a team of people who support your vision, who support your dreams, who support your
yes,
goals, go a long way. That's virtue. So,
yes. I love the team. That's what we all doing. So we all see the vision and believe in the vision, and we just gonna keep going at it. So
and you've got the chocolate drop model coming up as well too. You got a lot of events
yep.
that are coming.
Yes, let me tell you about the models. The models actually bring out the comedians, like ring girls in boxing. So they have the comedians have their. I'm actually show you one right here. Comedians hold up a sign with their name on it and everything, and walk out, and do their model walk and things like that, and and the crowd love it. So they love the models. So they love to see the models come out. So
It's
so
different when you say that. It
yes.
makes me think about without the dancing. It makes me think about in living color, because
Hmm.
you had the comedy skits, but in the beginning you would have the fly girls dance. But in this one, you have the
Right.
models walking the comedians out on stage, and it's no
Yep.
comedy skits. It's just them doing
Yep.
straight up doing their material straight up right there in front
Yes.
of the crowd, the audience. So
Yep.
you guys can go and purchase your tickets at Eventbrite. The event is September 27th, 8:30
27.
p.m. $20 entry. So make sure y'all go and check it out and support what Dre is doing. And this is at the Area Bistro and Lounge. So make
Yep.
sure y'all go and check it out. Uh,
Yes.
that was
And if
another.
you
Go
and
ahead.
also
I'm sorry.
you can book the show too if you wanted to come to your city also. We'd love to come perform and everything. So yes, please hit us up. Yeah. Yep.
And what is next? Because you got more coming. When we were
Yes.
talking, I think last week, you said there's so much more coming.
For far as movies, I got a movie coming out, Warriors United. That's actually a movie out on my program. My program is called Warriors United. So it's a youth basketball movie actually. I'm actually starring in it and directing in it. Shout out to my guy Marcus Harris. He's actually the writer, and we're doing a movie for the community. It's going to put on the community the Forest Park and my program, then also the school of Winton Woods High School. So that's what we're doing there.
Again, we need more of this. We need more of this. They need to see this from beginning to end. It helps
Mhm.
mold their careers. Because looking
Yeah.
back, you need to know, how did I get my start? And
Hmm.
you never know. Again, that art of virtue, I believe that what you put out there in the universe will come back full circle. So
Right.
the law
Yeah.
of reciprocity. So
Hmm.
we're going to shift gears here, Fashion Dolls, and I'm about to pass the microphone down. And it's no longer the Style by Stevie show, so it's going to be the Dre Will show, because Dre Will is getting ready to ask Miss Stevie some questions. I'm about to get put in the hot seat in a segment I like to call Turn Those
Okay.
Tables. And then we're going to do something called the Rapid Five. My guests get to ask me as many questions as they want to. And then in the next segment, the
Yes.
Rapid Five, I think Bubs the God is in here somewhere tapping on me. Alvin? All right. So I'm gonna pass it on down to Dre here, and Dre is gonna ask me some questions for my news viewers, and you get to know a little bit about me through his questioning. All right, take it away.
Yes. So, tell us, how did you get started into the fashion business, and what made you wanted to do
Ooh,
that? And how old were you?
how did I get? How old was I? I would have
Yeah.
been in high school still. I want to say
Okay.
in my teen years. Ooh, 18. I want to say 18. And my sister principal, I was one day doodling because at the time I told her I wanted to do fashion illustration. And I remember doodling in the cafeteria. And you know how the principals of the school, when you're out there with your friends and stuff in the
Yeah.
cafeteria, chatting or whatever, and she came and she tapped me on the shoulder. And she said, I see you like fashion. I'll bring you some Vogue magazines tomorrow. And that was it.
Mm.
Lo and behold, I go to her office the next morning because we wasn't supposed to go like on the diagonal side of the school right here. We wasn't supposed to go there because the teachers were parked there. You know, we were supposed to go through the back, the bus. And
Okay.
so she let me come up there and she gave me the keys to her car. She said, "Oh, you're here." So I went to the car on her back seat. And Dre, when I tell you, it was about 5 or 6 different pages of Vogue magazine.
Wow.
One of them had, right now, New York Fashion Week is going on. So you might have seen the Siriano show with Oprah, Lizzo, all of them. They were sitting up front, Oprah and Gail, all of them.
Wow.
Mary J. Blige. It's a lot going on over the weekend.
So
Fashion
you
Week is
met
here,
you
y'all.
you met all them?
No, I'm saying it was going on. So I have to do
Okay.
coverage. One day, it's coming. It's coming. I'm manifesting and
Yes, it
putting it out
is.
there.
It's coming.
So when New York Fashion Week hits, Vogue always puts out their issue, and the issue has at least 800 pages. This
Okay.
had 860 pages in it. The book was this thick, Dre. And my mouth was on the floor
Wow.
like, I've never seen this much fashion growing up in South Carolina because she was the new principal there also.
Right.
And all I knew growing up was what? What brand was it? It was South Pole, Abercrombie, and Fitch. That's what I grew up. But this here, Versace,
Yeah.
Mugler, Valentino, Parenza Score, Comme des Garçons, Diamantista Valley Paris. All of these high fashion, over the top couture designers. It was a whole
And-
nother world. And I was just enamored. And she said, no, 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 darling. You don't pronounce it that way. Because I was pronouncing it Armani Privé. It's Armani Privé. She said, no, darling. It's Armani Privé. You pronounce it like that. So that's how I know how to pronounce them so well. So a very special shout out to my assistant principal at the time. She said, okay. And then she taught me about the showrooms. It was just a whole nother world
right.
where you get to actually see, which designers, their designs in advance before they even hit the run. So she
Right.
taught me about that. And then my father used to work in the garment district in the New York area. So he taught me, about, hey, having to know where the fabrics are, being in Greenwich Village, all of these things he's taught me about. So I learned a little bit from my dad, and I
Hmm.
learned a lot from my assistant principals. So that's how I learned so much about fashion. And then throughout the years after graduating, because everybody, what was so unique about going to school is everybody had their own unique sense of style. And whereas everybody would do a t-shirt and jeans, I was dressed like one of the girls from Escape. And y'all know
Right.
the cover where they had the suspenders and stuff. That was me.
Yeah.
I would do the best. I would do the suit jackets, all of that.
Okay.
But then when I graduated, I was always when I first started Style by Stevie, I was covered from head to toe. Now you can't stop me from showing a little bit of leg, a little bit of back, a little bit of this.
Right,
I don't care. My
right.
mom is like, God, leave that skirt is short. But you learn yourself as you grow into your own throughout your high school years.
Yeah,
So that's how I learned so much about fashion was through my principal and my dad. And he taught me about designers in his era growing up in the 80s. But for
yeah,
me being a 90s baby, it was Calvin Klein, it was McGlair. As I
yeah,
said, FUBU, South Pole,
yeah. That
Abercrombie and
was
Fitch. Those
yeah.
are the ones that,
I remember all
yeah.
those. Yeah, that was the '90s. That was fun back then.
Yes, yes, yes.
So,
And many
how do you?
questions that, yeah.
So that how you came up with the Style by Stevie podcast and everything?
That was the birth of it right then and there because
Right.
at first it wasn't called Style by Steve. It
Okay.
was called Weekdays Topics, and we would do it at 11 o'clock
Mm.
every day. And we would
Yeah.
go on Facebook Live and talk about pop, just like on your podcast. It would be fun. It would be sort of, I would give my fun take on things on pop culture. But then I said, you know what? Let's take a shift. Let's do something different.
Yeah.
Let's merge it all. I like fashion. I
Yeah.
love hair. I love makeup. I love beauty. I love entertainment. Why not merge them all together? And
Right.
again, flipping through Vogue, came up with the concept, and I said, it's got to be something catchy, style by Steve. So when people see that logo, the reason why I made my
Yeah.
logo the way it is, I wanted it to be reminiscent of another talk show. If you look
Yeah.
closely, Ricky Lake had that same kind of logo. So I said, if I'm going
Mm.
to do something similar to Ricky, it's got to be in
I'm
my own
actually.
way. It's got to be style by Steve because I
Yeah.
love fashion.
I'm actually looking
And
at the logo now.
yes, it's very reminiscent of Ricky Lake.
Yeah.
That's where the inspiration for it came from was Ricky Lake. I used to
Okay.
watch her talk show a lot. If it wasn't Ricky, then it was Jenny Jones. If it wasn't Jenny, then it was Tyra Banks. It was
Right.
so many that I picked up the inspiration from going to school to host this platform, but mainly Ricky Lake. That's why I made the logo the way it is. Very reminiscent of hers. And I said, you know what? I got to do my own thing. I can't do
Did you?
exactly what Ricky did, but it's
Right.
got to be fun, catchy. It's got to be innovative,
Yeah.
revolutionary, and it draw people in. Style by Stevie, because when you hear it, the first thing you think of is fashion.
Right.
And I'm just like, it's so much more than just that. It's a lifestyle. It's fashion. It's food. It's comedy. It's a good time. It's all of these things when I created this gumbo. So that's how it was formed. That's how my baby was brought to
Cool.
life.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Um, would you did you besides learning from your dad and your principals, um, did you go to school for any of this?
I taught myself.
Right,
And
just
I started
self-taught,
up
huh?
at a very, very young age. I
Yeah.
remember 8 years old, I was in the doctor's office, and I was always a shy person. And I was sitting there with my grandmother, and it was Ebony Jet, one of the magazines, because I remember, look at me telling my age. I already done told y'all 31. We had the yellow pages out at the time, y'all. Y'all remember the yellow page phone books that
Yeah.
we used to get in the mail? I remember
Hmm.
going through and reading all of the advertisements through it, reading my grandma mail, reading the mail that used to come here
Yeah.
to the house from my mom and dad and everybody. And my grandmother knew I could read. And that day in the doctor's office, when I was in there with her, it was Tony Braxton on the front cover of the magazine. And I said, Grandmama, look, Tony Braxton. And my grandmama just looked at me like, and then and then when we got home, she told my mom that baby can read.
Mm.
So fast forward, me breaking out of my shell, I took public speaking in high school, and I can remember having to recite the lines to Shakespeare in front of the class, which was nerve wracking for each and every one of us. I'm like, why are we nervous? We see each other every day. Why? What is there to be nervous and scared about? It was a midsummer night's dream. So if you know, you know, you had to recite those lines word for
Yep.
word because the writing in Shakespeare is a little bit different. And my teacher said, wow, you got it. You got it. That was the stepping stone for me right there
Yeah.
to be able to stand up in front of a crowd and people viewing and speak. So that's what broke me out of my shell.
Speaking of
But
that, even
that was
even though you came out of your shell, you do love like you came out and you speak in front of crowds. Do you ever get nervous when you still speak in front of crowds, like before you go out there on stage? Yeah.
ooh, speaking out in front of crowds and doing this platform. I'm like, Lord, if I mess something up, and I
Right.
always tease my colleague Bubs the God. I always tease him because he makes mistakes and mess up, and I mess up too. So
Yeah.
I'm like, nobody's perfect in this business. We make mistakes. Even some of the lates, you see Jimmy Kimmel, and you see so many that have hosted
Right.
television shows make mistakes, and it's
Yeah.
funny. So people understand, the audience understands.
Yeah.
The viewers tune in to you, and the sense of compatibility is making sure that you relate to your audience,
Yeah.
and that's what I do. Relate here to my audience, and I make it fun. So if I make a mistake, they'll catch on to it and they won't stop laughing at it. And
Right.
sometimes they'll hold it over my head. But I do get nervous. Like before this interview, I was nervous. I'm like, oh God, what if he doesn't like me? What if my hair isn't right? What if the
But
makeup? What if the light? All of these things, all of these things, I was just nervous. But what I do is, well, how do I calm myself? Is I pray before every interview. I pray
okay.
before every
Yeah.
interview. And I say, God, grant me the strength to serenity, that everything is going to run smoothly and I have a great outcome. I have a great show, great
Hmm.
conversation.
Yeah, that's just how I was. My mom used to always call me bashful growing up because I was always, quiet, not speaking up or talking and things like that, scared to talk in front of people. And now it's like, I have to, you know what I'm saying? I mean, now that I have to, it's like, what you gonna do? You either gonna do it or you're not. You know, you say you're gonna lose out on this or you gonna go for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go for it every time. So it's either when I step on that stage, even when I'm hosting the show or anything, it's like I'm nervous. I'm nervous, but you got to do it. Pray to God and you just got to go forward and have fun with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And I've done interviews here on this platform. I'm just like, Lord, please, Jesus, give me the strength to make sure that I get everything right, make sure that
yeah,
I got the facts and the story right. Because being a journalist or a talk show host, everything has to be perfect. It has to be
yeah.
perfection. And so that there have been, I've sent you some of my interviews before of how we
Hmm.
got introduced, a couple of my interviews. And the one that was very nerve wracking for me was the Vanessa Williams. Believe it or not, I was nervous that day. I was panicking because I'm
Right,
just like, okay, I've seen this woman on magazine covers. I've seen her on
right.
television, watched her music videos. She's an idol to me. And when it came time, when she popped up on that screen, I'm like, you can't remember when Brandy met Whitney Houston? That was me. That was me on the inside. So I couldn't show it. So I'm just like,
Yeah,
Lord, please give me the strength and serenity to make sure that I pass this interview with class, with
right.
dignity. And it was like talking to an old friend, like her spirit. I thought she was going to be a diva and, her personality, what she is, what you see on television and the magazines and movies. But no, completely down to earth. And I remember that interview. That's one of the most biggest interviews of my lifetime that people still DM me about.
Yeah,
And so I had to share that with you and so many others that have come on my show, like some of my work. That's just a piece of it, but there have been
right.
others. I can remember the one that I did with Olga If, who is an international fashion designer. And that was
Mm.
when you guys remember the dress, the iconic feather dress that had the feathers, the
Yeah.
Josephine Baker thing going on.
Hmm.
Yes, that was a nerve-wracking interview as well, too, because you're interviewing someone from a different part of the world.
Yeah.
So, their customs and everything is different, but it ran smooth. It ran
Right.
amazing. Lovely. She said, oh my God, you're so gorgeous. Your style is different. All of those things. But those are some that I would cherish.
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's what's up. Okay. I think. Oh, for the people that don't know, tell the people where you're from again.
South Carolina, I'm a South
South
Carolina girl.
Kakalaki.
Yes, born and raised, the home of
Okay.
the barbecue, the home of what else do we have down here? If you're looking for
Right.
deep, deep, deep Southern pride, so We have it down
Man,
here, and I know it's not down here than in Atlanta, then
man,
it's
I was
not in the Georgia area. You're gonna get it in North Carolina. So
okay.
in the deep southern states, Louisiana, Mississippi, I mean, you're gonna have it all. But
I
South
love
Carolina,
I,
hot
I love
dogs,
South
and
Carolina. I got to get back. One day I hope we can bring our show down to South Carolina one day. I love South Carolina, Myrtle Beach and everything. So Myrtle Beach was actually my vacation spot growing up. So that's where we used to go every year. So yeah.
it's so much fun. Bike week, everybody remembers Bike week
Oh
down
yeah,
there.
bike week. Yeah, it's off the chain. Yeah, that's what's up. I think I'm good. I'm done with the questions.
All right, fashion dolls, and that concludes our turn the table segment. Now, Dre has to tell me his 5 things that he can't live without in the segment I like to call the rapid five. And I'd love to know what my actors who I'm interviewing or producers, direct, what are their top 5 guilty pleasures? Like for me, I love to binge watch Unsolved Mysteries. Call me an old soul, but
mm-hmm.
yes, Unsolved with Robert Stack, that was my
Yeah,
show. So
old school show.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Um,
what are the top 5 things you can't live without?
um, can't live without my kids. Um, my family, my wife. Let's see. Um, man, hmm, I don't really know.
Is it a
That's
favorite dish you like? Some actors will tell me their favorite dish. One
um,
told me you can't live without
well,
candy
I
on
don't have
set
it no
because you know
more,
they.
but it's a favorite dish we used to have when my mom was living, and it seemed like nobody ever heard of it. But I heard it was a Southern dish, but people in the South haven't even heard of it. Sweet macaroni. Uh,
Mm.
yeah. So I used to love sweet macaroni. That's one thing I used to love. So me and my family used to love that. So that's one thing. Coaching the kids, coaching the youth. That's what keeps me driven. That's what keeps me going. Is being out there with them. Um, yeah, and just and then Martin. I love Martin. Martin,
Oh yeah,
the TV show.
a classic.
So I watch that all the time. That's one show I've been watching all the time, all day long. So
Oh my goodness, there you have it, fashion doll. Rapid five. Those are Dre's 5 things that he
hmm
can't. So before we close, because this was such a great conversation, it's been longly anticipated and waiting in the works. Any gems or knowledge you would like to give to our people during this time, as far as flexing their creativity, putting it to use? What gems would you give them to close the show?
um, man, just be creative. Just go after what you want to do. You know, don't let nobody stop you. Don't let nobody tell you you can't do it. Don't let nobody tell you you're too old to do something. Um, you know, yeah. So just keep going after your goals. Just keep going high, keep striving for greatness, and reach out to your connects that you meet. That's one big thing that I had to learn is reach out, keep your connects with you, reach out to them. You never know what they can help you with. And if you want to be in business or need any help or anything, you can always reach out to me. Um, my Instagram at official Dre underscore wheel. Um, if you want to so that's why I just say, just that's why I tell everybody, just keep striving for greatness. Don't quit because it's going to be hard on you. It's going to be hard anything that you try to do. I don't care if it's just acting or if you have a grass cutting business or anything. Keep going. Don't let nobody tell you no. One of my favorite quotes is "Only God can judge me." So and
Yes.
only I have that tatted on me and everything. So and that's what I live by. So don't let nobody judge you. Just keep on going what you're doing.
And I'm going to close the show with today's final thought, which comes from one of my favorite poets and authors, Maya Angelou. And she has a quote that goes like this: We encounter many defeats, but we must never be defeated. There's a lot of obstacles out here in our way of people ducking and dodging, saying, hey, you can't do this. You have them, that little game that
Yeah,
we play when we go to the fair where you have to beat the gophers over the head? That's them right there
yeah,
in real time. So you're going to have obstacles out here, roadblocks, setbacks. That's only the path for you to get to your next destination. You're going to have
yeah.
to encounter those things in order to be great. But don't let it make you defeated. And I want you all to know that as well, too, that there is great out here coming for you in the future and so forth and so
Yes,
on. So that's, again, we talk about the power of virtue and the law of reciprocity. And I want a lot of to remember that the power is within you. You have your power, and you are the author, director, and creator of your life. So you can write and leave your legacy. I want all of you to remember that. So that's what I would close the show with today. But
thank you.
make sure that you guys go and check out Dre coming to the stage September 27th, 8:30 p.m. And the entry is $20 at the Area Bistro and Lounge. So y'all make sure y'all go and check it out. Fairfax, Ohio.
Fairfield. Yep,
Fairfield.com. My Fairfield, Ohio. My God.
yep.
See?
Yeah, Fairfield, Ohio. Yes, please come out. Vibe with us. Come have a good time with us. Everything. So yes. And if you'd like to
I
book
want
us in
y'all.
your city, please reach out to me also. We can also bring the show to you. We are looking for local comedians in your city when we come to perform on the show also. So we also look out for people in your city also.
Absolutely. Come
Yeah.
down here to Carolinas. We'd love to have you.
If we can find somewhere to have it at, we'll be there as soon as possible.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
And let
Thank
everyone
you
know
for
where they
having
can
me.
follow you and check you out. And you are so welcome.
Yes. They can follow me at official Dre Will on my YouTube, Dre Will Productions. I'm starting streaming and things like that now, so you can catch my streams and all that type of stuff and projects that I'm putting out and videos and things like that. Um, Also, my Twitch, streaming on Twitch, official Dre underscore Will also, Dre Will Gaming. Um, and you can find me September 27th at the Coming to the Stage Comedy Jam.
There you have it. $20 admission. Make sure y'all go and check
Yeah.
it out if you're in the Fairfield, Ohio area at the Area and Bistro Lounge. Thank you, Janine. Thank you, Kamani. Thank you, ladies. Thank y'all.
Thank you, everybody.
And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Joining me tomorrow, we have Tina Harrelson. Again, please go and check it out. Dre Will's coming to the stage. Comedy Jam. If you're in the Fairfield, Ohio area, make sure y'all
Hmm.
go and support. And I love y'all. And I will see y'all tomorrow, Fashion Dolls. And head over and subscribe to Style by Stevie Daytime on YouTube if you have not. I clay Bubs to God is in this live somewhere right now. Lord, my God, my God. And shout outs to Janine. Janine says Janine Jarvis on Facebook and check out my work and book her. Yes, her photography, outstanding. So y'all please
Yes.
go and check her out. All black businesses. So if you guys have any you
Yes.
want me to promote or repost in my stories, definitely don't be afraid. Just tap me and let me know and I'll repost. And I look forward to it. And I would love to have you back on for my 20th season, which will be in the new year of 2026. So we'll definitely
Anytime.
keep in
Just reach out to me. I'd love to come back. I have fun day. Yes. Appreciate it.
and I will chat with y'all later. Until next time, Fashion Dolls. Talk to you later.
See y'all later. Appreciate it.
You too.